Hi guys, welcome to my online channel for my journal for university. Here I'm going to basically be going through all of the stuff that I've done at university. This is basically an online sketchbook, so I'm going through explaining basically just all about my work. The first practice I had within the first few weeks basically was printmaking. I've never done printmaking before, so obviously I've encountered a few little problems with that to begin with. Started off with a design that I'd already made myself. It's actually a photograph of back home, which I half-toned and it's bitmapped into, well, this. This is my bitmapped image that I did. I know now that I should have made the dots bigger on it, because obviously screen printing you can only do one colour. So when I printed the image it didn't come out too great. So obviously we have that, which was transferred onto translucent material, either acetate or tracing paper, which was then exposed onto the screen. I screen printed in two colours with this one, black and orange. Basically I wanted to see what the contrast would be if they were put next to each other, and it didn't turn out very great. So this was the first image I made with screen printing. Yeah, I used black ink and it didn't come out too great. It was more of a grey colour, where the way that I had edited the photo into the bitmap, the dots obviously weren't big enough. It didn't turn out very great. You can still see the image, but not as well as the original image. This was the orange one that I produced. The design is coming out a bit better, obviously. Please excuse, I did miss the edge when I screen printed it. It was my first ever screen print, so I give myself a bit of credit for doing these. The next thing I went on to was looking at some of the images that I'd already taken. I noticed within these images that some of them looked better in the grayscale. So what I did is I selected these images and bitmapped them, but I overdone it, so I made the dots quite large. When they were produced like that, I thought what would be brilliant would be to have a coloured background. Now, working around myself, and I've done quite a lot of work with symbols, which is also shown in my sketchbook, my physical sketchbook that I'm going to be making as well. To draw it back to myself, I have a tattoo on my wrist, which is from a series of symbols, which my symbol that I've chosen came from, which I'm going to do a bit of work into them. I selected the symbol, obviously printed it out, which was then transferred onto tracing paper, which was then exposed onto screen print, and I printed them ones first. I wanted to stick with quite a bright colour so it would show through. Bright but toned down in a way, if that makes sense. So bright that you can see the colour and it stands out behind the image, but not so bright that it takes away from the image itself. So the first colour that I selected was like a pink colour. The medium that I mixed with the acrylic, I thought I put a lot in to tone the colour down quite a bit, but it turns out I didn't. It did come out quite bright. So this is my pink image that I did with my symbol and my second church shot. Now my view with this image is the colour I think is way too bright, so it's kind of overpowering the image, because I see colour and I see the image with this one, but I don't necessarily get drawn to the symbol at first. I think the colour is coming through the strongest, and I want each element, the symbol, the colour and the image, to be like equal to one another. This is my blue one. It's slightly better. Once again, the colour seems to, I feel that it doesn't draw away from it as much as the pink one does, but once again I still feel the colour's too bright and it's hiding the image, the black image that I've projected over the top of the symbol. So in one final attempt to try and remove that situation, I did mint green. Okay, this is my green image. The green one was my favourite one to do. I now feel that even though the green is a lot lighter than the other two colours, I now do feel, unfortunately, that the symbol is now like lagging behind a little bit. I feel like it needs a bit more definition because the green's too close to the white background. Once again, I took the same symbol but reverted it so the colour would be the actual symbol itself rather than the background colour, and worked with size. So I'd have the coloured symbol to be the bigger one and I'd have the image smaller. So what I did is I took a zoomed in version of the photograph that I bitmapped and made it smaller, which I then produced in 3 separate colours. I did green, blue and yellow, just to work from dark to light. Okay, so the first image I did was the green. It was sort of a pine green. It was supposed to be a turquoise, but I couldn't get the right balance between colours, so I stuck with the pine green. It is quite dark and I do feel that it should have been lighter because it's too close to the black, so once again I feel like it takes away from the actual image itself. But I finally feel that it has a better composition. I feel like it has a better this word's not going to come out. I feel that it has a better composition on the page. That one. Okay, so here's my image, my second series of image. This image was quite hard to actually line up, so it actually looked okay. I had to make sure that the steeple of the church was actually in the centre. Unfortunately it isn't in the centre of the image, so I did have to edit it slightly. The second colour I did was blue. I did quite a lot of these actually. I did produce 20 of these, the blue ones. I'm incredibly proud with the way these ones came out. I feel like the colour complements the background and the image all in the same one. It's a very similar blue to what I used last time. Once again, lining this up was quite difficult, but once we had it, it was fine. This is one of my favourite ones, and I'll show you what we ended up doing with this one in a bit. But yeah, that was that one. The final one that I ended up doing was my yellow one. Here's the yellow one. It's a lot more translucent. It's a lot more translucent. That word. It's a lot more that one than the other ones. So you can see the image on it quite a lot more. I really do apologise for my English. Those are the images that I produced on print, and I think I've got about 60 prints out of all of those, which then triggered me to start looking into mass production for my semester 1 essay piece. I feel that I can take a lot from mass production, starting to work around the mass production of a product by hand, because all of these are hand printed, so that's what I feel that I should look into because I'm enjoying it so much. So in order for me to do mass production, I've started working around, in a way, creating a brand, which I'm going to be linking into consumerism and the way people buy into a product which they feel that they need or they feel that they should have, and all of that sort of feel for status. So what I'm doing is I'm putting myself into the field of like consumerism. So these designs, especially this one with the star, I feel that it represents me without other people knowing that it represents me. Putting myself into the consumerism market and have people in a way buy into me as an artist to see obviously what the outcome is. So from this, I'm going to be mass producing t-shirts and bags with my design on it as just a basic study to see why people are drawn to specific things, or if they feel that they can relate to the products and all of that sort of thing. So what I've done is I've created 2 t-shirts already. I'm going to be doing a photo shoot with those later on in the week, which I'll be uploading as well. This is the yellow one. These are all still hand printed. We have the navy blue one, which is my personal favourite. The image is a lot darker here than it is on the screen. My goal for these t-shirts is basically put them into the market just to see, as a product itself, whether it sells with tags that most places have. Now, I'm going to be donating the profits made from these t-shirts to a charity to see if that appeals to more people. So that's as far as I've got so far. I currently have a Facebook page that is linked up to this. It hasn't got much on it at the moment, but I'll put the link down in the description. Hope I've kind of explained it in a good sort of way. After I've done the photos and the statement and the Facebook page and set it all up, I will be doing an evaluation video where I'll be explaining properly what I've done, so I'll have it scripted and it'll be a lot more better, whereas right now I'm just rambling. If you want to give those a look, then that'll be great. But for the support with my work, and hopefully you'll continue to be interested in what I'm doing with my work. Lovely, thanks. Bye guys!